Hey guys, welcome back. How are you all? Today I thought I would do another cake decorating basics tutorial and show you how to marzipan and ice a fruit cake. The first thing I have done is brushed my fruit cake with a thin layer of apricot jam. That's just going to help your marzipan stick to the cake. I've got mine here. You can make it yourself or it's very readily available in the shops these days. I've kneaded it slightly so it's nice and soft and ready to roll. Now you want to lightly dust your work surface with some icing sugar because you don't want that marzipan to stick. And also a little bit on top of the marzipan. Stop your rolling pin sticking. Now I'm just going to gently work this into a sort of flat round shape to make it easier to roll out. And then take your rolling pin and start rolling. As I'm rolling this out, I am turning it 90 degrees so that you get a fairly round shape, and it's also a good way of checking that your marzipan isn't sticking to your work surface. Keep rolling your marzipan out until it's about the thickness of a pound coin. I think this is about there now. You can kind of lift it up and see how thick it is, and you can also get a sense for how thick it is with your hands. Now I'm just going to slide this across, then lift up your marzipan from underneath, put both your hands underneath so you've got the whole piece, and just gently lift that and place it on top of your cake. Now using your hand, you can just smooth that over, or you can also use one of these cake smoothers, which is quite handy. Just press that down, make sure there's no air bubbles. Then we want to start doing the sides. So gradually work your way around the cake. The marzipan will stretch, so you can sort of stretch it to fit the cake, and just gently stick that to the sides, just doing it a little bit at a time. As you can see, it's kind of pleating here, but you can just gently work those out by stretching the marzipan. Just be careful not to stretch it too much or it's going to tear. You can work with marzipan for a fairly long time until it starts to dry out, so just take your time with this and keep going until you have reached the bottom edge of the cake. And using your hands, just press that onto the cake and make sure that it's all firmly stuck down. Now then, once we've done that, you need to take a sharp knife and just cut off all this excess. Now I'm not going to cut it right to the edge yet, I just want to trim this bit off and get it out of the way. Like that. You can use this for another time. And then again with your hand, just gently push that in. I'm going to trim a little more off, but sometimes it's best to leave a bit of excess. So see here, we've still got this slight rim there, so I'm just going to trim that off again with my knife. Just gently work your way around the cake. Generally, fruitcakes are covered in a layer of fondant as well, so you don't really have to worry too much if your marzipan's not that neat, because it's all going to be covered up anyway. And again, just use your smoother. Well, you can use your hands if you don't have one of these. They're just quite a handy tool to have, and they don't cost you much either. And just go around the cake again to make sure the sides are nice and smooth, and you can get a nice edge with this as well. It's as simple as that. Now this you would normally leave to dry out for a couple of days, or you can ice it in fondant straight away if you're in a bit of a rush. Now for the purposes of this video, I'm going to get straight on and ice this cake in fondant. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop this out the way for a moment and clean down my work surface. Now that we're nice and tidy, we're ready to get on with the fondant layer. It's pretty much the same technique as before. The first thing I have done is I've slightly moistened the outside of my cake with a little bit of water. That's going to get the fondant to stick. And again, you want to dust your work surface with a thin layer of icing sugar to stop it sticking. Take your fondant and again just gently work it into a flatter circle. It just makes it easier to roll out again. A little bit of icing sugar on top to stop your rolling pin from sticking. And again, same method as before. Keep turning it 90 degrees so that it doesn't stick and you get a nice round shape. Keep going until it's the same thickness as before, which is about the thickness of a pound coin. Something I didn't mention before is that you want to make sure you've rolled out your fondant and marzipan enough so that it covers both the top and sides of the cake. I'm using an 8-inch cake here, and for this I've used about a kilo of fondant. Obviously there's going to be a lot of excess that we're going to trim off, but it's a good amount to work with to make sure that you're going to get the whole cake covered. Now then, just going to slide my cake over, and again just gently put your hands underneath and lift that. As I say, make sure that the side is going to be totally covered, and just gently place that down like so. Slightly more pressure this time because we obviously want it to look neat, because this is the final finish. Take your cake smoother or use your hands and gently smooth over the top. Make sure there are no air bubbles in there. And just using your hands again, just gently work the fondant around the sides of the cake, kind of sticking it down as you go. Don't just stick it all down at once, otherwise you're going to get creases. Again, the fondant is quite pliable like the marzipan, so you can sort of gently stretch it out to get rid of all these pleats around the edge. Just do it gently so that it doesn't tear. If you do find it's tearing a lot, you've probably rolled your fondant too thin, but you can strip it off and start again, so don't need to worry too much. There we go. I've got quite a lot of excess here, but I'm just going to use my knife again just to trim all this off. You can use that for another time. And then again, just use your hands to make sure that it is fully covered and there isn't any marzipan peeking through. There we go, and I'm going to take my cake smoother just to make sure the sides are nice and straight. And it also helps you get a nice edge around the top of the cake, which is difficult to get when you're just using your hands. There we go. That is the finished cake, iced in marzipan and fondant. You can now leave that to dry out again for a couple of days before you start to decorate it however you like. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making more videos like this and also sharing my business journey from my little cake shop here in the UK. If you have a baking or business related question of your own, please do pop it in the comments below and I will happily answer it for you. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you very soon, guys. Bye!